Call of Duty's PC player base is down 76%, according to after launch Steam statistics, and viewership on Twitch, which is the most interesting, that shows sort of like the buzz around the game, is also down over 50% for the new Call of Duty. So is this the beginning of the end for the franchise? Or maybe are people just not liking Infinity Ward and Infinity Ward should just stop making Call of Duty games?
I mean, it's very hard for them to stop because they have 2 studios working on a Call of Duty game.
That's true, but if they're not doing well and it's just harming the franchise, then...
I mean, let's just put it into perspective. It still sells enormous, but it's just down. That's true. Not selling down. I mean, it's still in the UK, and we got the numbers from the UK. It's still that it's the second biggest launch. It's still well above Battlefield 1 that sold extremely well. So it's still doing really well. Although the second week sales from this Call of Duty game, and this is also pretty interesting, were below the second week sales of Battlefield 1. So while Battlefield 1 is still not like selling more, it could be that at the end of the year, when Christmas hits, people are choosing Battlefield 1 over Call of Duty.
And that's where the PR comes in that we were talking about before the show, because who ran the best PR campaign? Battlefield 1. Why? Because they didn't do anything stupid. And with Call of Duty,
I don't know if it really is about the PR and the marketing. I didn't really see them do anything different than the Black Ops. It was just people were just it was a running gag to dislike that trailer, and it was.
But you didn't notice the end of that trailer that showed Call of Duty 4 remastered that is only included with the more expensive version of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That's why people got pissed. I don't think.
But do you think that would be enough for people to then say, okay, let's screw it this year, I will not buy it?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Dude, Call of Duty 4 is so loved by the Call of Duty community. I would know because I started quitting Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2. Because after COD 4, it just was a massive decline. That's why the Call of Duty esports community has fizzled out over time after that. Because COD 4 was, in my opinion, one of, if not the best Call of Duties for multiplayer. It was so well refined, it was so well tuned, and the fact that they put it behind a paywall. Now, if they would have done a deal like, oh, you buy Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and you buy COD 4 Remastered and you get like $10 off if you buy the bundle instead of buying separately, I think that would have been well received, and that people were like, all right, that's fine. They're just trying to promote their game, but when you completely lock it up initially, and yes, there is arguments it might release separately in the future.
It will.
100%. But that's the thing. That's in the future. It looks so scummy from a PR perspective to lock a very loved game behind a massive paywall and force people to buy a game that they don't want to play in order to get the game that they want to play.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I do agree with you. They should not have done it. It's not pro-consumer at all. It just sucks because if people just want to play that game, they can. They have to pay like $90, $80. That sucks. And they have to buy a game that they don't want. That doesn't make sense. To play devil's advocate, do you think that Call of Duty Modern Warfare would have been like remastered as it is? Because you can say what you want, but the remaster is super good. They really looked at everything. It looks like it's like in graphics, you can really like, okay, did it came out like last year? It's like insane how they like upscaled and redefined this game graphics wise. So that's pretty good. Would they have done it without this being like because they knew that it was coming. They knew that Infinite Warfare was not going to sell as well. That's why they made this bundle. Do you think that if that wasn't the case, would they ever make this like remaster Call of Duty? We don't know. And
yes, they would have.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think you're right. On the other hand, they would not have released it in November. They would not have released it alongside Infinite Warfare. So you would get it probably later. Because why would they release this game that everyone loves, that everyone is going to play, probably buy more than the new one, release it at the same day? Why do that? Only in this package it makes sense for them. But yeah, they would otherwise have released it maybe in the summer of 2018 or 17. I mean, so that's also another point that otherwise they would not have released it like alongside it. And then you can, you say from, oh no, they should have just made this, release it, just separate. But then you would not have seen it right, like in November. So
here's the reason why they didn't do it, and it's something that they know deep down inside in their gut. They know that Call of Duty 4 Remastered would have outsold Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, of course, and it would cannibalize their own game. It's like BioShock the collection coming out with alongside a new BioShock game. That doesn't make sense. Why do that?
Quite honestly, I think that if they would have if they would have sold COD 4 Remastered for $40, it would have outsold Infinite Warfare. If they would have sold it for $60, it would have even sales with Infinite Warfare. And what that would have told the developers is no one likes you anymore. No one likes Infinity Ward. They just don't. They want Sledgehammer and they want the developer of Black Ops.
No, I don't think they want Sledgehammer as well. I think that it's not about Infinity Ward. It's about the franchise as a whole. It's about the space thing. It's about the bad PR that was going around this game for like from the reveal trailer till launch. It was just bad PR all around. Then they also made this like pretty safe Call of Duty in the people's minds with not a lot of changes. And if you look at Battlefield 1, that's like an easy game to market because one, it's a setting that a lot of people really want, and there are not a lot of games in this setting. Two, it just looks beautiful. The first trailer that they showed was just in-game footage. It's just that insane. So that also helps. And it's DICE. It's their like marquee studio making this game. That also helps. And yeah, I think that a lot of people that played Call of Duty that were not really into games, that buy 2 games a year, now move to Battlefield because that just looks better and they are fine with just tanks and stuff like that. They don't really care about the core Call of Duty gameplay. And that's why I think Call of Duty also has a hard time.
I mean, yeah, but then on the other hand, you have the developer who made Ghosts create a new game. No one's going to be hyped for that. They just aren't.
Do you think that a lot of people know this though? Because they see a new Call of Duty every year. I don't think that they know that there are 3 different studios working on it.
The amount of positivity I see with Black Ops is so much more than with any of the other ones.
But that's Black Ops. That's not the studio. It's like, okay, I know the Black Ops franchise because 1 and 2 was really good, right?
Yeah.
This is a new
but
IP
even with Advanced
in the
Warfare,
Call of Duty franchise.
Even with Advanced Warfare,
that also dropped off significantly.
It dropped. I don't think it dropped off as much as this one though, and it had a lot more of a positive vibe around it because yes, it did stuff different and that pissed off some people. But the thing was, and one thing that helped it was the fact that it was, I believe it came out around the same time as the consoles did, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So it's kind of like a newer title, like a next gen Call of Duty. But even I, who, like I said, I'm a heavy critic of the Call of Duty franchise. I got it for pretty much free because I was going to buy a year of PlayStation Plus anyhow with my PlayStation 4, and it came along with it, so I was like, what the hell, why not? But even myself, I played it for probably about 25 hours-ish. I enjoyed it for what it was, and I was like, okay, well, Call of Duty, it's going in a direction I don't like, but I could see that people would enjoy this. But then you release like Black Ops 3 after, and it's like, okay, well, it's built more on top of this. And I played that a little bit during a free weekend on PC, and I enjoyed it a little bit, but there's no way in hell I was going to buy it. But I saw a lot of positivity behind it. People were, happy about it. But then with Infinite Warfare, there was no positivity at all. I didn't see hardly any of it. Yes, now that it's released, people are like, oh, it's an all right game and stuff like that. But there was
a great game.
It
has almost an 8 on Metacritic. That's like super good. So yeah, I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
just want to say that.
Yeah, you're not the only one, but at the same time, it's not doing that well sales wise. And as far as the reason why I brought up I wanted to do a caveat, the PC sales. I will say this now, and I'll say it probably again in the future, and I've said it in the past. Call of Duty on PC died after Modern Warfare 2. It's done. If you buy a Call of Duty on PC after Modern Warfare 2, you're going to have a broken mess of a game, and you're going to hate yourself for it. Because right now on Steam, it has a 6 out of 10, and for good reason. From what I've heard, it runs like crap. Actually, wait, I have the wrong Call of Duty. Let me get this. Infinite Warfare. It's probably not going to be better. Let's see. 6 out of 10. Yeah, okay, so I was right. But yeah, so 6 out of 10 on Steam because it doesn't run that great. It's just not good to play on PC, which is stupid because first-person shooters are great on PC. But yeah, it's one of those things where the PC community, I don't think, is ever going to really embrace a Call of Duty ever again. I think they would have if the remaster of COD 4 was good. Some people were complaining about issues with that as far as like the online play, but they shot themselves in the foot, and I don't think that if they ever release it separately on PC and it runs great, I don't think a lot of people are going to buy it. I know I'm not going to unless it's like $20. I'm now applying my $20 Call of Duty rule. If it's not $20, I'm not buying it if it says Call of Duty on it. They got my money before with Advanced Warfare, and then after that, it fell apart. But yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end, and I think investors are seeing it too. That's another thing is Activision's stock dropped 5%. And that's
a significant thing. Yeah.
That's not good at all, because that means that investors are starting to see the beginning of the end with this thing. They see a downward trend, and as much as Activision was like, oh, it's okay, the bad PR is fine, guys, and you just had like that meme of like that dog in the burning house, everything's okay. That's what Activision was like to their investors, and now investors are seeing, okay, you guys are just full of shit. Like, we were worried about World of Warcraft, then Legion came out after you guys were reassuring us, because Activision obviously is Blizzard, and Blizzard's Activision. They're sort of together within the same types of meetings and whatnot. And so they were like, okay, well, we get it. We'll give you more shots with World of Warcraft. Legion came out, was a success, and they're like, okay, well, maybe Call of Duty will be a success again. No, it's just not. They know it's over. The beginning of the end is beginning.
But we've said this multiple times, also with Ghost, and of course, I'll link you something in Skype. Can you take a look at that, because that's pretty interesting. It's like the first week's unit sales in the UK. I will also put a link down for you listeners to see. But anyway, it shows
that supports my argument even more.
I thought it was interesting to show, and that also shows that in the Ghost days there were also like talks that, okay, this is going to end, and then Advanced Warfare came and it was like a little bit better. Black Ops 3 though, I think if I look it up right now, it's still like 20 million units sold, so that's not the end ever again. And I think that Activision is going to push Infinite Warfare even harder. I heard some things that I don't really know if I can discuss, but I for example, in my review, they want to quote me. So they're really looking at stuff to promote, and of course this is not really special, but it's like they really have to do something, and Activision has the money and the means to do it. So I think they will have a huge Christmas push for this game, and hopefully that will make things right. But I think they will never hit the Black Ops 3 sale numbers, of course. But still, what's interesting to note here, and that's, let's say here, Black Ops 3, that's the last year's game, sold 22 million units. 22 million units. That's
it's not like a loss. Yeah, it's by no means they're not losing money off of it. I'm not saying that, but it's one of those things where if you start seeing your horse sort of go into sort of a cash cow category where you're just milking it, you're basically telling investors, okay, it's dying off. We're not really gonna ever get it back up to where it is. And that tells investors, okay, well, if you don't have something around the corner, which Activision still has not proved yet in terms of a first-person shooter that can be another behemoth, then that's going to cause a lot of concern.
Destiny 2.
That's true, but they haven't announced that yet. And so investors are still...
No, they have said that they will release it next year, and it will probably release in September 2017. But it's like still, if we look at their whole catalog of games, and I totally agree.
I did want to mention one thing before you go into that. As far as the Ghosts to Advanced Warfare sort of bump up, that was due to marketing. If you bought a PlayStation, I think it was also Xbox Live too. If you bought like a PlayStation or Xbox One, you were able to get Advanced Warfare pretty much for free.
Wasn't this the first PlayStation deal with Call of Duty?
It was.
So before this, it was of course Xbox.
Yes. Yep. And that's the only reason why I have it. I'm part of the Advanced Warfare spike there. And I literally was not going to buy it. He was like, here's your free copy of Advanced Warfare. I'm like, okay. Like, and that counts as a sale.
They're now doing that as well. They're giving away Infinite Warfare, I think, if you bought like a PS4 in the US during this and this time. So they're probably going to say, look, we sold a lot of copies. But yeah, they also account, of course, the things that they gave away for free. So
yep.
That's, of course, a thing. And they will, in the end, make it right. If they release a remastered for $30, I think that will be a good price. Then the Modern Warfare Remastered, of course, in the summer or in March or whatever, whenever they're going to balance the losses they made with Infinite Warfare pretty good, I think. Of course, it will not be like, I think Infinite Warfare will not hit the 22 million units sold, but yeah, it's still interesting, and I'm curious. I mean, it's a good game. It's not that it's a bad game and it doesn't it doesn't deserve sales, but still, it's super interesting.